Hi, Dr.L. Well, I'm going to run through the second set of exercises for your progression. I'll go through them fairly quickly because YouTube has a 10-minute limit on how long the videos can be, so I'll just demonstrate them and you can pause them and then do them 1 minute each or 10 repetitions or as otherwise dictated. So the first stretch is hip lift, which you had from your last routine. Lay flat on your back, cross one ankle over the opposite knee, and then pull up. And you rest there for 1 minute. The next exercise is cats and dogs, which you're familiar with again. Exhaling as you round, tucking your head. Inhaling, shoulder blades together. As you look up, make sure your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are vertically lined over your knees. And your hips should be, your knees should be hip width apart, and your hands should be shoulder width apart as you go, flexion and extension. The next one is kneeling groin stretch, which you had also from last time. Put your foot forward, keep really flat through your stomach, and move forward till you have a pull, a stretch in your hip flexor. Keep your head, shoulders, and hips vertically aligned. Hold that, 10 breaths or 1 minute. Switch to the other side. Then the progression from last time. Same stretch, go up into a lunge position. So the only difference is that back foot has gone from here to there, and then you elevate the knee. Stay nice and flat, keeping the stretch there. You hold that for 10 breaths for 1 minute. Okay. So we're building up on the functional demand of the exercises to increase your strength and endurance and stabilize you with new postures. The next one is the door squat. You hold on to the door handles. Be sure that you're straddling your feet, or your feet are beneath your hands vertically. And you sit back, and again, emphasize that tailbone out, so you have a little arc in your lower back. Okay? Knees are over your ankles, and your head, shoulders, and hips are over each other. Hold out with your arms straight for 1 minute. Make sure you have that arc in your lower back. The next one you'll do is supine foot circles. So this leg, whichever leg is flat, has the thigh contracted and the foot flexed, pointed straight up to the ceiling. Here, you grab behind your knee and you circle smooth, slow, complete circles, 30 in each direction, okay? And then 30 points and flexes. Okay, your shin may get tired, but you can switch when you need to if your foot gets too tired. Next one is hip crossover stretch, which you also had last time. So there you cross your ankle over your knee, push that knee out, bring that down to the side, keep pushing that knee out, then take your hands palms down, about 60 degrees out from your shoulder, and spread your hands so your shoulder blades are lightly engaged, and then look in the opposite direction. So if your right foot is crossed over your body, then you're looking to your right. Okay? Hold for 1 minute, and then switch. Okay. The following one you also had before is upper spinal floor twist. So you bring your knees up to 90 degrees, feet bent at 90 degrees, arms straight out, and then you open up like a book. And breathe into that stretch until your arm and shoulder are resting on the ground behind you. And make sure that your knees stay perfectly vertically aligned. So take that little block that you have, or that shoe box, and set it so that horizontally your knees stay right on top of each other. Okay, and breathe into that until you've reached your maximum stretch, so your arm and shoulder and elbow are all resting on the ground. The next one after that, you'll do cats and dogs again 10 times. Okay, into downward dog, and the method that we used to get into downward dog was tucking our feet, shifting our knees off the ground, shifting our chest towards our thighs, and then straightening your legs from there. Okay, if you need to, at first you can have your ankles up, but as you get that really good extension, pushing strong through your palms, then work on being able to lower that. Okay, while still keeping your extension. Keep your knees tight, or your thighs tight, and keep pushing solid through the palms of your hands so you get a lot of extension demand in your back. Okay? Then after that, take ideally a belt or a scarf, something non-elastic, rather than that band that we used last time. We're going to do what's called the supine calf and hamstring stretch. So take a belt or a strap or cloth and put it around the ball of your foot. Okay? This other leg is bent. Okay? so the foot's flat, and you put your leg out at 45 degrees. You actively flex your anterior tibialis and your foot towards you, and you contract the thigh of that leg that's up, and you pull with your arms. So your leg's engaged and your arms are engaged, pulling that. So at first you'll have a stretch on your calf, okay? Your thigh is tight. Make sure your foot is very linear. It's very straight. It shouldn't be like pointed. Shouldn't be pointed out. It should point right over your head, okay? Hold that for 8 breaths, 8 to 10 breaths. Then choke up on the strap a bit. Move the strap down to your midfoot, and then pull it up to 90 degrees. So first is at 45, mostly a calf stretch. Then at 90 degrees, thigh is still tight, foot is still flexed towards you. You hold that. You should feel a stretch in your hamstring. Okay, make sure you feel it there. Okay? 10 breaths in each posture, then switch your legs. Then we do the runner stretch. So you will kneel in front of a chair. Okay, so tuck your back foot under your knee to your front heel. Okay, so they're touching, and then you've got a chair right in front of you, and then you come up straight, squeeze your thighs tight, and try to stick your tailbone up and out. Okay, make sure also that your hips are square, and what I mean by that is, what it would look like if it weren't square, if your belly button would be pointed towards one side or the other side. The tendency is to want to be like this, where your back hip is up too far, because that reduces the stretch and makes it easier. But we want to make sure that you stay nice and square, so your belly button points straight down to the ground, your hips are level, and your feet are in line with your belly button vertically. Okay, so they're all along this midline. You should feel a big stretch in the front of your in the back of your front leg, so your front hamstring. Drive the weight into the front foot and squeeze the thigh tight as you arc your back up. Okay, it's a runner stretch, or the assisted runner stretch rather. Then we got 2 more for you. Standing windmill, where you do that against the wall. Okay, so you start off, feet hip width apart, pointed really straight ahead, and you tilt down to your side, and to the other side. Okay, arms stay right at 90 degrees. Try not to hyperextend through your lower back, but just stay nice and flat as you go sideways. Okay, with your back against a wall. Do that 3 to 5 times. Then put your feet a little wider than shoulder width. Repeat the motion 3 to 5 times. Okay, and then really wide. Make sure the feet stay really straight, thighs tight, weights even on the foot, heel to toe. Then go back and forth again 3 to 5 times. Then return to the starting position for the final 3 to 5. There, okay? Then standing quad stretch, okay? So at first, if you need the wall, you can grab it, or the mirror in front of you, grab your foot, but then work towards being able to grab your foot with both your hands, okay? And then pull your knee back so it's even with the other. Then flatten your stomach. So that takes your butt needs to squeeze and tuck your tailbone, and then your stomach needs to flatten, so it pulls your lower back flat, and you stand up really tall with your knee really pulled back, okay? Holding that for 1 minute or 10 breaths. And then the last one you can do is standing arm circles. So you'll just be sitting there with your feet hip width apart and straight still. Clench your knuckles, okay? So using the golfer's grip, right? So not a fist, but knuckles, okay? There's a reason for that regarding your kinetic chain, but I'll save time. So clench your knuckles, circle forward 40 times with your shoulder blades pinched down and together. So not up towards your ears, but really squeezing like if you had a pencil. You're squeezing your shoulder blades down and together. You'd be squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades. And then flip your palms over and go the other direction. 40 times in each direction. And then you're done. And that's your second routine. Enjoy.